this time from Jammu and Kashmir, Republic has accessed exclusive documents revealing Pakistan's Kashmir terror communication plot. The investigation revealed Pakistan terror groups installed 2 towers in PoK for communication with terrorists. It's now been revealed the YSMS app has been designed by Lashkar for communication with terrorists in Kashmir. For backup, there's also an app being used by terrorists for communication. I want to go across to Gursimran, who's joining us live from Jammu, breaking that story. Gursimran, these are exclusive documents and they reveal Pakistan continues to want in some way or the other to cause terror and havoc in Kashmir.
Very important, because at a time when the security agencies are keeping a track of each and every mobile network that is being used for the international activities, now the Pakistani terror groups have come out with a new idea. They have installed 2 towers in the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir that have range to cover entire Kashmir Valley, and YSMS apps have been provided to the terrorists. The terrorists in the launch pads are given the specialized training to use the YSMS app. This is a code-based authentication app to get in touch with the top terror commanders, and some of the codes include OP Shaheen, OP Ismail and other codes. These are the codes, and some of the mobile numbers too have been accessed by the Republic Media Network, which clearly shows how to communicate with the top terror commanders of the Lashkar sitting in Pakistan and how they are giving direction. See how this YSMS works. This gets connected with the towers in the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and through authentication codes they can send message up to 60 characters. So this is the modus operandi. But going forward to it, they have also trained all the terrorists with the Canoin app, which is a local mobile-to-mobile based app. In case the YSMS fails to get in touch with the local terrorist, they have also trained the terrorists in the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir terror launch pads how to use the Canoin app. So this is the modus operandi of the Pakistan and the Lashkar that has been unearthed by the investigation agencies. This came into forth after an investigation was launched by one of the premier investigation agencies in the December last year, and during the 4 months investigation that has been conducted, so far it came into being that the terrorists in the launch pads are being trained about the YSMS app, the alternative, and now the terrorists are not using the mobile phones or the cellular networks because they fear they can be traced by the security forces. So that's why they have resorted to a new communication plot of the Pakistan. This is backed by the Pakistan. There is no doubt to it, because Pakistan has always been harboring terrorists in its backyard. We have seen a couple of times even the admission by the top political leaders of the Pakistan that they are behind this terrorism, and now this coming that the Pakistani terror groups have installed 2 towers in POJK, the communication towers, so that the terrorists can get in touch with the top commanders sitting on the launch pads. And even some of the communication codes we have been able to access clearly shows that yes, Rhythm.
I also, Gursimran, want to go across to Rajiv Chunni to get a sense of what's been happening there. Mr. Chunni, very clearly what we are seeing today is how another dossier of Pakistan's terror activities has been accessed. Shockingly, they now want to have communication and are installing 2 towers in PoK.
देखें, हमें एक बात भूलनी नहीं चाहिए कि हिंदुस्तान के अंदर जितनी भी मिलिटेंसी रही है वो सारी उसका जन्म पीओजेके में होता रहा है। ये आज की बात नहीं है, पुरानी है। वहां पर कैंप्स बनते हैं, टेरर कैंप्स, टेररिस्ट को ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है, वहां से लॉन्चिंग पैड्स होते हैं, और आज जिस तरीके से वहां पर टावर इरेक्ट किए गए हैं, मैं समझता हूं कि ये इंतहा हो गई है। अब वक्त आ गया है कि हमारा अपना इलाका जो हमारा अभिन्न अंग है भारत का और पाकिस्तान के कब्जे में है, वहां पर इस तरह की बातें होना, इस तरह की हरकतें होना, अब मैं समझता हूं कि ये बिल्कुल माकूल समय है। हमें टूट कर पड़ जाना चाहिए और वो उस इलाके को भी वापस लाना चाहिए, टेरर कैंप्स भी खत्म करने चाहिए, लॉन्चिंग पैड्स भी खत्म करने चाहिए, और ये जो नए 2 इन्होंने टावर इरेक्ट किए हैं उसको भी तहस नहस करके इनका मैं समझता हूं उसको ध्वस्त करना चाहिए। तब जाकर लगेगा कि हमारे यहाँ शांति हो सकती है। नहीं तो पाकिस्तान लगातार हमारे इलाके का जो उसके कब्जे में है उसका गलत इस्तेमाल कर रहा है। वहां पर हर तरह की हरकतें होती हैं और हम लोग विस्थापन में हैं। हम भी चाहते हैं हम अपने घर वापस जाएं और फिर हम देखेंगे कि कैसे उस इलाके का गलत इस्तेमाल पाकिस्तान की सरकार कर पाएगी हमारे जाने के बाद।
Absolutely. Thank you for giving us those details, viewers, as we continue saying it's time for a crackdown on PoK terror. We're also trying to get across to more reactions because now I think we're getting Colonel Rohit Dev, who's joining us on the phone line. Colonel Dev, what we are seeing today is Pakistan's nefarious plans in India and Kashmir continue. Installation of 2 towers completely shocking. We have to see how India is continuing this crackdown, Colonel Rohit Dev.
This will continue. I'm afraid that the Chinese have, given part of the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to even China for their CPEC dream. And they are now duty-bound to ensure that they serve as slaves to the Chinese, and they will continue. But I got a different take on this, on how our government should react if possible. I do not know the depth in which these towers have come. But if they're in striking distance through smart munitions or even an air raid, I think India is well within its rights to start now showing some strength, probably in the PoK. And this is something which can be taken down. You're not hitting any civilian target. You're not having collateral damage. And I think the messaging should now start going to Pakistan, because at one hand, they have been tom-tomming about Kashmir and trying to make that token alive through their military and through their politicians. On the other hand, they have done nothing on the UN resolutions. They have not taken the first step there. And there's no point keeping to talk. So India has to, at some point of time, I think the time is generally about coming, that we should have that upper hand and that initiative with us.
Absolutely, Colonel Rohit. Absolutely. And you know what you're saying is something we need to try and focus on, because like this crackdown is continuing by the Indian forces, it is time for a complete crackdown on any nefarious designs by Pakistan. I thank you for being with us.